Hi, it's Colin Cowherd. I started the volume to bring you some of the most authentic voices in sports. While you're here, make sure you hit subscribe. Thanks. All right, my thoughts on the Rams 49ers. First time in 7 meetings, the Rams beat the 49ers, and I felt the same way. I've seen every one of those Rams-Niner games, the last 7, of which the Rams finally won. I always think the Rams are the better team in almost every matchup. They have the better playmakers. They have more depth of talent. But it's that 49ers defensive front that blows up a lot of Sean McVay's running game, jet sweeps, and his passing offense. My takeaway on this game is I think the Rams are the better team. I picked them to win by a field goal, and that's what they won by. But San Francisco, there is a reason that the 49ers hold Sean McVay more than a touchdown under his NFL average as a head coach, and it starts with that defensive front. I think in the end, the weakness of the 49ers, and they will address this in the draft and free agency, is corner. And it's now the strength of the Rams, you could argue, is their defensive front and their wide receiver talent. That's even without Robert Woods. Their tight end talent, they've got depth. OBJ's been a great addition. Cooper Kupp is virtually unguardable. Van Jefferson, they're only going to get better next year as Woods comes back and a rookie from the SEC they drafted. I don't know if OBJ will be back next year just because too expensive and they have depth of talent at wide receiver. But I feel the right team got in. I mean, could you imagine if the Niners beat the Rams? We had a Niners-Bengals Super Bowl. Can you imagine in November if you tried to argue that over a beer with buddies? Yeah, the Bengals and Niners are going to make it. The Niners now, I think, move off Jimmy Garoppolo, give the reins to Trey Lance, give him every snap until the beginning of next year. Garoppolo will fetch something on the market, probably a second-round pick. His injury history is going to scare a lot of people off. But if you're the Steelers or, a Washington, you can certainly do worse. This Rams team is very clever. Matt Stafford answered all the critics. He made a huge throw to Cooper Kupp to set up that field goal. When I look at the Bengals and the Rams, I think you're going to get a little bit of a shootout. The Rams' defensive front is going to have its way with the Bengals' offensive line. That's going to be broken down a lot over the next 2 weeks. I think the Bengals' offensive line is going to have their hands tied with Aaron Donald and Von Miller and that group. So, Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan, to me, are the best 2 coaches, young coaches in the NFL. And McVay is going to get some heat for burning those timeouts. But I think what Sean McVay was doing is, listen, if the refs missed a fumble, I'm going to roll the dice on this because we could get the ball at midfield. What I don't want to have to do is beat the Niners and drive 75 or 85 yards down the field. So McVay trusts Stafford, trusts his receivers, trusts his skill people, trusts his 2-minute offense. He's going to burn those timeouts. He's going to use challenges if he can catch a break and get a short field score. That's what he was looking to do. Everybody on social media is killing him, but his takeaway was, I can't drive 85 yards on this team. This Niner defense literally shut us out in the fourth quarter and overtime, 3 weeks ago. So I was okay. I understood what he was doing. He was trying to make something happen. With the Niners, they put you under duress on virtually every snap. And I thought the other thing, Garoppolo's limited, but I do think Jimmy's a starting quarterback in the NFL. The Rams did a really good job to mostly shut down the Niners' running game, and that really limits their offense. You're not going to win with shootouts with Garoppolo. That's not really the way Kyle Shanahan coaches. So this game, for a lot of reasons, played into the Niners' style. Lower scoring. That's how they've been able to beat the Rams. But it was just situational football. Matt Stafford, a couple of big throws. OBJ, Cooper Kupp, huge catches. Something that I underestimated is the power of coaching and the power of culture. I know both are important. But not only has OBJ been a crucial, especially on third down, on big downs for the Rams, but it's been a seamless transition. He is not a decoy. They are using him in big third downs, red zone plays. There's a physicality to him. It looks like he's actually gained a little weight. He's got his hands back. He got a little bit of what golfers call the yips. He started dropping passes in Cleveland. And it just wasn't a good fit from day one. It wasn't, you knew it, I know it. Browns fans privately knew it, didn't want to admit it. But he has worked so well and so quickly and so seamlessly with the Rams. And I think a lot of this is he worked well with Eli Manning, a veteran. He works well with Matt Stafford, a veteran. OBJ is too big of a presence to put him with a very young quarterback. Young quarterbacks often feel forced to get the ball to a star marquee receiver. Dak Prescott with Des Bryant felt forced and was a better quarterback when he spreads it around. I think Baker Mayfield's a better quarterback when he spreads it around. So OBJ has really worked in Los Angeles. Von Miller has been better than I suspected. And again, when you play around really good players and other stars, there's no pressure. There's kind of a let it rip attitude with the Rams. Nobody's bigger than the franchise. Aaron Donald is like the Tim Duncan of the NBA, the hardest working guy, the greatest player with virtually no ego. So he keeps everybody else in line. And when your best player, that was a New England Patriots Tom Brady feel. Your best player was your hardest working and had really no outwardly obvious ego. So if you're a number 2 receiver, you don't get one either. And I feel that with Aaron Donald. That's kind of the culture. Like McVay doesn't have a big ego. Aaron Donald doesn't have a big ego. Cooper Kupp doesn't have a big ego. So it would be ill-fitting and odd if Von Miller or OBJ came into the Rams and, made demands. Not that they would, but that's the benefit of your best player like Aaron Donald being a complete and utter professional, that everybody falls in line. So it's Rams and the Bengals in the Super Bowl. I would guess the Rams will be about a field goal favorite in that game. I don't want to hear about any other leagues in America. The NFL has so pulled away from every other sport in America. When's the last bad football game you saw? Was it like 3 weeks ago? When's the last game that wasn't heart-stopping in the NFL? It's like 3 weeks ago.